lottery, but not everyone knows the history behind it, like why we started them in the first place. So I'm here to tell you a little bit about that. Lotteries first began to help finance government projects like public works, defense, and building. The earliest recorded lottery was between 200 and 100 BC with a game called Keno. Earliest accounts of how the game began have been dated back to ancient China, and Keno Online claims that it all started with one ancient Chinese leader in the Han Dynasty, Qin Liang. He was leading his people through a long and drawn-out war. Funds were growing low, and people were growing tired and discouraged. Not wanting to pay more taxes, the people put it upon him to find a different way to fund the war. He came up with Keno, finding his inspiration from an ancient poem, the 1,000-character classic, which was used to teach numbers to children. He chose 150 characters and divided them up into 8 subdivisions. The game was simple. Whoever correctly guessed the characters in one of the subdivisions won, and usually rewarded tin taels, which was the Chinese currency. Growing in popularity, the game was soon being played throughout the whole countryside. The game lived on, and 1,000 years later, Chinese sailors brought Keno to America. It was a popular game in San Francisco, and was during this time in the late 19th century when the characters were changed from unrecognizable symbols to numbers. However, when lotteries became illegal, the game was changed to horse race Keno to give it the impression of a horse racing game. It was changed back to Keno when lotteries were legalized, and to this day it is still played in casinos and is considered one of the most popular forms of gambling. HistoryOfLottery.com under beginning states that lotteries were played at dinner parties for amusement during the Roman Empire. It was not until Augustus Caesar began his reign when lotteries were efficiently used. Tickets were put on sale to raise funds for repairs needed for Rome. Winners did not receive money, but received things like linen. Money was not exclusively given until about 1450. NASPL, under lottery history, talks about many other early drawings, one being of a widow of a Flemish painter holding a raffle in 1446 to dispose of her husband's paintings. In Belgium in 1465, lotteries were used to build chapels, almshouses, canals, and port facilities. Early gambling like this was a less painful way of paying taxes. People are fixated by the notion that by buying a ticket, they have the chance to win something, and it was this idea that brought hundreds, thousands, and then millions to play the lottery. The first English lottery was established by Queen Elizabeth I in the 1500s. It was brought about to repair and strengthen the Queen's realm. It was chartered in 1566, but not drawn for another 3 years. Every ticket holder did receive a prize, with 400,000 tickets being available to buy. This opened England's door, and more lotteries started to be played. Before Parliament outlawed lotteries in 1826, private drawings were held, one raising funds for the Virginia Company of London, which was supporting the first English settlement to America, which was Jamestown. Raffles and drawings traveled overseas to America, and even some of our founding fathers used them. For instance, Benjamin Franklin was able to raise funds for the Revolutionary War cannons using a lottery. John Hancock operated a lottery to rebuild the Faneuil Hall in Boston. And George Washington financed construction of the Mountain Road, and this opened westward expansion from Virginia. In 1776, money was raised for the colonial army by using this technique. Between 1790 and 1860, 50 colleges, 300 schools, and 200 churches were erected by using lotteries. Some of the most well-known universities established with help from drawings were Harvard, Yale, Princeton, and Columbia. Although lotteries were a good thing for the country, they started getting out of hand with corrupt lotteries and cheating. They were completely outlawed in 1905, and it took 60 years for them to become popular again, and 70 for them to be legalized. Once they were legalized, they started to be advertised on the TV and radio. What started with a game called Keno has now become a universal game played all over the world. Millions now flock to buy tickets in hopes of becoming the next big jackpot winner.